A research paper was published last month that revealed the micronutrient inadequacies in the diets of people across the world. And the results were actually mind-blowing. It was crazy to see how many people were getting an inadequate amount of micronutrients in their diets. Now, I'm going to include a link down below in the description so you can look through that research yourselves. But the researchers do share some potential limitations with these studies, and as always, recommend that you take this research with a grain of salt. But still, it should give you some pause and have you wondering yourself, like, are you getting enough micronutrients in your diet? And I highly recommend that you get your blood work checked at least once a year. I know for myself, I do that personally. I recommend my clients do it, and it's always an eye-opening experience. If oftentimes many of my clients have been very surprised at what vitamins and minerals they've been low in, or even some deficient in. And their first step is always to improve upon their nutrition. So if you're low in a certain vitamin or mineral, looking for foods that you can boost those levels up with. But oftentimes you may require supplementation. And even this study showed that people who were consuming mostly whole natural nutrient-rich foods still were not getting an adequate amount of micronutrients in their diets. Now, I'm also going to include a link down below in the description, as well as a top pinned comment, to the Lose Fat, Get Jacked supplement guide, a list of the supplements that I recommend, along with why you may want to take them yourself. As well as if you are low or deficient in some of those vitamins and minerals, what the negative side effects would be towards that. But again, get your blood work done first to see what you may be low in, and then supplement with those first to see how you feel. If you notice a boost in energy, in mood, mental focus, clarity, productivity, there's so many different factors that can improve just from supplementing, getting your supplements up in the normal range, or even better, the optimal range. It's like common deficiencies or vitamins and minerals, micronutrients that my clients are low in. B12 is a very common one that comes back there. Very easy to supplement with. You can just take a B12 supplement if you want, or you can take a kind of a spectrum with a variety of the B vitamins in there as well, just to make sure you're getting enough of each and every one of those. For myself personally, my B12 levels are in the normal range, but so my doctor wasn't concerned. I'm in the normal range, but my naturopath, she knows that I like to be optimal. I want to be performing my best. I want to be feeling my absolute best. So I do take a B supplement. I was taking the Super B12 supplement to just boost my B12 levels, but lately I've been taking the Infini B, which has a spectrum of the B vitamins in there. So again, that's a very common one among a lot of my coaching clients. Vitamin D is another one. I haven't had any clients that have been deficient in vitamin D, but I do have a lot of clients who have come back low in vitamin D. My vitamin D levels are in the normal range, but I've been supplementing with vitamin D ever since I've been getting my blood work checked there. So it's, again, one of the most deficiencies out there. Like, people are not getting enough vitamin D, no matter how much sunlight you're getting. A lot of people just are not getting enough sunlight. Even if you're out there for 10-15 minutes, if you're fully clothed, it depends on the time of day. It has to be a certain time of day, but I think it's between 10 and 2 in the afternoon, like exposing your torso, like getting a lot of your skin exposed to the sun in order to get an adequate amount of vitamin D in there. Folate is another one that's been low in some of my clients. Magnesium is a big one. My clients are not getting enough of that in their diet, so that's where they're trying to improve. They incorporate foods that have more magnesium in them, at the same time supplementing with magnesium. That's number one for me. I definitely get that up there. Zinc is another big one, especially like I sweat a lot. Again, if your zinc levels are already low, already in the normal range, especially if they're the high normal range, you don't need to supplement with zinc. You don't want your zinc levels to be too high, but I find a lot of people are in the lower end, so be sure to test for that. Boron is another one that's been, I find I've been benefiting from this past year. For men, it can be great for your testosterone levels. For like when it comes to, there's some research that shows that sex hormone binding globulin, like that's when it's attached to the testosterone levels, it's going to bind the testosterone up. You're not going to have as much free testosterone. So if you may have good normal total testosterone, but like for myself, every time in the past where I've gotten my blood work done, my free testosterone is always kind of, it's in the normal range, but it's like low normal, borderline low there. So I've been supplementing with boron, really looking forward to getting my blood work checked real soon here to see if taking boron happened to increase my free testosterone levels. My total testosterone levels are going to be the same, I would imagine there, but it'd be nice to have some more of that free testosterone, which is what we had utilized to build muscle and improve our performance and all that. So boron is another one that I typically recommend, and I do see that that people are low in. If you're not getting much fish in your diet, I highly recommend like an omega fatty acid in there. I take a triple strength one. You want high EPA, high DHA in there. I highly recommend that. And I take it myself, even though I consume a fair amount of fish in my diet, like 3 to 4 times a week I'm having fish, but I still want to make sure I'm getting enough fatty acids in my diet for it, because it just has such an important role in my heart health, my skin health, joint health. So it's something that's important to me. But again, trying to get it in the diet, but then supplementing as well there. Vitamin E is one. Again, that's one you want to get checked out. You don't want to be taking vitamin E if your levels are already up. You don't want to consume too much of that. So again, topics to consult with your doctor with to see where your levels are at, maybe even a naturopath with an educated naturopath who can guide you, like even if your levels are in the normal range there, what can you take to just kind of bump it up into the optimal range. And for those like fat soluble vitamins, making sure that you're not consuming too much of them. Because that can be of concern. You want to make sure that there's some of these things that you're not taking too much of. Something like, again, vitamin B12, you're just going to pee out. Vitamin C is something that's been really low in a lot of people. Again, you're going to pee out any excess. So if you're going to take vitamin C, just kind of spread that. It's something nice to spread out throughout the day. Vitamin D, I just take in the morning. Some people notice that if you take it later in the day, it may have a negative impact on your sleep. So little things. Again, I'll include a link down below in the description and as well as a top pinned comment to the supplement guide to provide you with a little bit more in-depth information, a little bit more detail on some supplements that you may consider. We're talking like vitamins and minerals here right now. In that supplement guide, I also talk about supplements that may boost your testosterone levels, supplements that may improve your performance in the gym, supplements that may improve your cognitive function, your mood, your mental well-being, your mental clarity there. But first, we want to make sure that you're covering the fundamentals. You're covering the basics here. You're making sure that you're getting the vitamins and minerals that are supporting your bodily functions, the things that are going to keep you healthy, tip-top shape and health, and keep you in the prime of your life here, really feeling your best. And then if you want to start adding in some of the other fun stuff, you can experiment with those and see how your body responds to that. But make sure you're getting an adequate amount of your micronutrients. A lot of people are very focused on their macronutrients, their protein, carbs, and fats, but they don't pay much attention to the micronutrients. So again, you can, like, if you're logging your food, you can see your micronutrient breakdown in some of these apps out there. So you can kind of get an idea of how much you're consuming in your food, but I highly recommend you get your blood work done first, because that's really going to reveal what's going on in your blood system and how you're digesting your food and how your body's absorbing all those micronutrients, all the vitamins and minerals there. So making sure that your body is functioning at its best.